Hello, everyone. Welcome. Guys, we'll get started shortly here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Guys, we'll get started shortly. Hey, Tylac, welcome.
Hi, David.
Hello, welcome. Hey, Tanda, welcome. Welcome, Tanda. Guys, we'll get started shortly here.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. We'll get started shortly. Welcome, everyone. We'll get started shortly. This evening, we'll go over advanced trading skills. So we'll get started shortly. Welcome. All right, we'll get started shortly, guys. We'll get started shortly. Hey, Kawisi, welcome. Welcome, Kawisi. We'll get started shortly, guys.
Good evening, David.
Welcome. We'll get started shortly. We'll go over advanced skills this evening. We'll get started shortly. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my trading screen. All right. All right, so you guys should see my trading screen. And it's Friday, so I won't keep you guys too long. All right. Just kind of want to go over this week's trading, and want to kind of get, and hey Charity, welcome. I want to get some feedback from you guys as to all right. I want to hear from you guys, get some feedback as to some lessons, perhaps some lessons you guys learned this week. All right. Hey Stella, welcome. All right. So let's just have a conversation. All right, on lessons, some things you guys, a lot happened this week. All right, a lot happens every week in trading, but in particular this week, right? A lot happened. Any lessons from anyone this week? Anything that you guys learned, good or bad, positive or negative, in this trading week? Because a lot happened. Hey Gerald. Hey Zaire, welcome Zaire. So anything, any aha moments this week, or any problems, or anything that might have been, you know, that worked out great for you guys? Anything at all? Everything went well? No issues? Well, I'll start. All right, I'll start. And I'll start with the dollar Swiss and the dollar pairs. Right. And you know, this is trading, right? So we can have everything planned out perfectly. And I'll take the dollar Swiss here as an example. You guys should see my chart, right? And we were moving along nicely. We had a bit of a hiccup right here. All right. Price made a high right here. Let me draw it out. All right. So price made a high right here. And we had been watching this resistance right here. And we're moving along. We've been moving along nicely. Right? Like I said, a bit of a hiccup here. And guess what? We were looking at the target right here and hoping that, hey, we could hold all the way up. We've been calling it all week. All right. All right. Actually, longer than that, right? For about 2 weeks. All right. And guess what? Sellers came in today, and we had to get out of that trade. All right. So guess what? This happens, right? So we can have everything planned out, and we had this planned out. You guys know this, right? We had this all planned out, all figured out. We had our targets. We're moving up nicely, right? We were concerned that sellers would come in here, right, above here, but look where they came in, right? They came in right here, and we had to close the trade, right? So the lesson is that we can have everything planned out perfectly, and it doesn't matter, all right? So a lot of times we think that, hey, you know, we want the price to go to a particular support or resistance. We have no control. We have to, whatever, you know, we can have our targets, but guess what? If things change along the way, right, we have to change. All right. So the lesson for me is that, you know, we have to be flexible. We don't even have a sell signal yet. We don't have a sell signal. We've got red candles, but we needed to close this trade. All right. Did anyone learn anything from this trade here? Who was in this trade? Tyler, were you in this USD CHF?
Yes, David, I was. That's it. It worked out real well. Obviously, it went up, but it pulled back before. When we got the red candle is when I got out. But yeah, I was in that. It worked out real well. I think 2 days ago we had where we stayed in it with the white candle, and it went back up again.
So yeah, good job getting out. Gerald, were you in this one, Gerald, also? I believe, Gerald, you were in this one. All right.
Yeah, I was in that one as well.
Yeah, and you got out, right?
Yeah, I got out. I got out at the, I think it was a red candle. I think it changed white, but yeah, right there, the red candle.
Right here. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good job. All right. Good job. Good job. We have to get out. All right. We have to get out. Right. So, you know, we can have everything planned out, right? Everything planned out, but know that if the sellers come in, we've got to get out. All right. Let's see here. All right. Now we noticed yesterday that now I didn't know it would happen this quickly. All right, but we saw the yen pairs. We saw the yen pairs making a move, right? In the last few days, really built up momentum yesterday. All right, and that's always a concern when the yen pairs start to move higher along with the dollar pairs, right? It almost never happens. All right, so just remember the yen pairs, dollar pairs, always focus on these pairs, right? These are the leading pairs in Forex, right? The yen pairs and the dollar pairs. Sometimes the euro pairs. The euro has a lot of pairs also. All right, but this particular pair, whenever you see they're going together, they're either going short or long, expect a rotation. All right, and what happens is this, where the yen pair started to take off right here. All right, anticipate selling in the dollar pair. All right, so these were in the markdown phase, right? Markdown phase, went into the accumulation phase, right? The yen pairs over here, and now they're getting into the markup phase. All right, and here the dollar pairs, right? They were nicely in the markup phase. All right. Hey, Carlos, welcome. They were nicely in the markup phase. So now they're going to be in the distribution, getting into the markdown phase. All right. So we should see this come down. If this continues, right, the yen pairs continue to move higher, we'll see dollar Swiss and a lot of the dollar pairs perhaps come back down and retest this support. All right. It's too early to tell. All right. It's too early to tell. But that's what could happen. All right. So we should be out of the dollar pairs. Let's see here. I don't think we have, let's see here. We'll go through some of these. Dollar ZAR is still holding. TRY. Sales are in SGD. Same with SEK. All right, here PLN. PLN was the top trending dollar pair, and just perfect trading in this pair here. All right, buy signal was here, got a perfect sell signal. All right, right on the break of this white candle here, right at support right here. All right, so perfect sell signal to get out of the trade. All right. If you guys are in any of these, you want to close your positions. USD NOK, right? Doesn't have any red candles yet, no sell signal. But that could come in. All right. So I wouldn't take the chance, close those out. MXN, the Mexican peso, sell signal here, buy here, red candle. All right, so we should be out of those positions. You guys should have made some money, right? USD HUF, right? So not a great run, but a fairly decent run. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, I think. All right, here's another. Learn to trust your system. When those white candles come in, pay attention, right? White candles come in, start paying close attention. All right. Sell red candles come in, sell signal, we have to get out. All right. Bought here, sold here. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I don't think we can get any more perfect than this. Right. All right. Here is our support. Right at that break of support, right at that moving average, right at that red candle. All right. We got a sell signal to exit the trade. All right. Nothing here. All right, so we should be out of the dollar pairs, okay? And like I said, the next rotation, the yen pairs, okay? I want to talk about, I talked about this earlier with another trader, Charity. When we look for the rotations, guys, I'll give you guys a really good tip. All right, I'll give you guys a really good tip. When we look for rotations, all right, yes, we want to see where they're all moving in one direction, either up or down, right? If we shorten down, right? If we're going long, up, all right? But you guys will notice that with the yen pairs, they had been moving a bit for a while, but we didn't call the rotation. All right. And that's because we need more confirmation. All right. We need more confirmation. What confirmation do you guys think we need to call the rotations? What type of confirmations do you guys think we need to call the rotation?
Buy signals on a couple of different pairs.
Very good, Tylag. Very, very good. So we need buy signals, but not on a couple of pairs. We need it on the majority of the pairs. Okay, so I would say we need it on at least 80 to 90% of the pairs. Okay, we need buy signals. All right, and the reverse is true. If we go in short, right? So we need a majority of the pairs giving sell short signals. Okay, the reason we need the signals is we need the signals. Why? Why do we need the signals? Why do we not, like right here, right? Right. So this is a yen pair, right? All right, ZAR yen. All right. It's trying to break resistance, right? Consolidation is right here. Resistance is right here. We can't call this, right? We can't call this. If we have the majority of the pairs, they could be up here. They could be moving up here. But if they don't have buy signals, we can't call it, okay? Because the buyers are not coming in yet. Okay, so just remember that. All right. So, you know, I'll get a lot of questions when the rotations change, right? So let's say these were long and now they're going short, right? These were long, right? Dollar pairs were long, right? And now the yen pairs are going long and then these are done. The dollar pairs are done. All right. And traders will short this, right? They'll short this right away. All right. Now, can we look for short opportunities after the rotation? Absolutely. Here is a sell short signal here on USD SEK. But why shouldn't we perhaps not take this trade here? It's a perfect short, right? It's a perfect short, right? Why shouldn't we take this trade?
Well, you don't want to short right there because you want the majority of the U.S. currency, the USD, to be also in the markdown, state.
Okay, repeat that. Repeat that, Gerald, for me.
You want the majority of the USD to be to have that sell short signal in order for you to take it, because right now the USD is still, the majority is still pointing up.
Yeah, very good. So we would need a majority of the pairs here to be red. All right, but then most importantly, we need signals. All right, we need signals.
Hey, David, I have a question for you. I understand the actual currency group. What about the actual currency itself, like PLN? Everything that was PLN has pretty much the same setup to go short. How do you look at that when it's the same currency is looking the same way, the exact same setup? EUR PLN, pound PLN, and I think USD PLN.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they will look similar. It's
so
go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm just wondering, okay, let's just say every group could be pointing up, but there could be a PLN or one particular currency, no matter which one it is, which that is paired with. It seems like it can go in the opposite direction because it's just a PLN, no matter if it's paired with a dollar, yen, or the euro, pound or euro. It kind of can do its own thing. Is that something we got to consider as well?
Yes.
And how do you trade it?
Well, okay. So we have like a macro thing going on, right? So this is like our macro, and then we could dig down a bit deeper. Okay. Now we can look at too much information, right? We can look at too much information. I like doing it like this. I like looking at the because when capital flow, right? If they flow in the yen is huge, right? I mean, if you guys look here, the futures market, where is the yen? So we've got the yen, the Japanese yen here. We've got the euro, Canadian dollar, the British pound, the Swiss, the US dollar, Australia dollar. Those are the big groups. Okay. Now, could we track like the Turkish pairs individually? We could do that, right? Could we track the Swiss pairs individually, right? Swiss pairs made a move last time. We could do that. It's just too much, right? It then we'll be all over the place. So you could, they will move together, all right? But so let's say here, so USD PLN is right here, all right? EUR, GBP PLN, and you notice that they're up, right? They're up in this area. They're high up in that trending area, right?
And they're up because of the markup phase, not because of the markdown phase, correct? They
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
trending
yeah,
up. Yeah, they
yeah,
was only trending up. That's the reason why they went up that high.
yeah, yeah. But if you notice, USD PLN is all the way up here, which is what you're referring to. USD PLN is all the way up here, right? Which is part of that dollar group. So we know that dollar group was making a move, and that's why USD PLN is up here. All right, so it was the top leading pair. No, it's the second top leading pair, and it will come down because guess what? Selling is coming in. USD ZAR is another dollar pair, but if you look here, right, GBP PLN, we weren't trading that. That's part of the pound group, right? But it's right here, it's up here, and it's number what, 4. All right, and it's up here because of PLN. All right, so you're absolutely right, right? Here is Euro PLN, okay, all the way up here. So there is something going on with PLN. All right, now if you look here, Euro PLN, hold on, TradeStation is updating data.
I'm looking for an opportunity to go short in these PLNs next week because of the way it's setting up. That's kind of like what I'm getting at is, and my question is the way it's all the PLNs are setting up just to look at it.
Yeah, here's Euro PLN. Well, let's talk about that, right?
And then I think there's a break of support on the monster scalper short that I believe that one, I don't think that one gave it yet.
So USD, but what is, okay, so look here, USD PLN, pound PLN, Euro PLN. All right, I thought there was another one. I think that's it. So there's three PLN. All right, what's the concern here?
I was just looking at what is the opportunity to short this PLN along, that is, no matter what it's paired with, whether it's USD, pound, euro, you know, how do you see this particular PLN shaping up next week? Because it looks like it wants to mark down. There's a nice markup phase, and I mean, we really don't know, but that's just how I'm looking at it.
You think, okay. All right. Hey, Zane, welcome. All right. So look.
Good evening.
All right. Now I'm going to repeat. Can we trade this? Absolutely. We can trade PLN. All right. Remember, we only have a limited amount of capital, right? And we need to be focused. All right. Here. So USD PLN, pound PLN, Euro PLN. All right. The only thing that's consistent, right, is PLN. Dollar PLN, that's in one group, that's in the dollar group, that's in the pound group, that's in the euro group. All right. So yes, can you get a consistent move out of it? Yes, but you're only looking at 3 pairs. All right, we're only looking at 3 pairs. Can you get a trade? Absolutely. And we can see if we can get a trade out of this. But I would much rather.
David.
Go ahead, Zaya. Go ahead, Zaya.
No, I was just saying, is there any way you probably, I know what you're saying is correct, but I was saying that if you would pull up like the daily and look at it and compare both of them, you kind of see is like what you're saying is kind of iffy, you know what I mean? It's like hit or miss if you pull the daily off.
Yeah. And we don't even have to, we'll do the daily, we don't even have to. It's going to look the same, right? So if we look here, USD PLN, all right, pound PLN, it's you know, Euro PLN, They're almost identical, right? But the bottom line is this, right? That's a very small group. All right, that's only 3 pairs.
What you're saying is there's essentially less data to be able to give you that leverage or that edge to be able to get in and get out when you need to. So
Yeah,
essentially it takes more work.
yeah, it's not, think of it like this, right? They're not, PLN is not a big player in the Forex market. It's not a big player. The dollar pairs are, right? The dollar pairs, the whole group, right? The dollar pairs here, the yen pairs, the euro pairs, all right? Pound pairs, Aussie, New Zealand, all right? So when they push capital, right? They love pushing capital in the yen pairs. That's why the yen pairs are very volatile, all right? You know, the Japanese yen, right? The dollar, this is the US, right? Right? PLN, that's Polish. It's just not enough, right? Can we trade it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's like, if there is nothing else to trade, right? If there is absolutely nothing else to trade, all right, we could catch a move here. The problem is too, although we might have some consistency in price, all right, it's not a dominated pair, right? It's not a dominant pair. Okay, I think that's my point. Okay, and you only have only three PLNs compare to about 12, 13 yen pairs. All right, $12, $13 pairs. Same thing for the euro pairs. So can we trade it? Absolutely. If we wanted to trade it, if you wanted to go short, all right, we wanted to go short, all right, we would wait for a sell short signal on all 3. I would definitely wait for a sell short signal on all 3 pairs. Okay, so let's see here, USD PLN, no sell short signal yet. All right, GBP PLN, no sell short signal yet. And EUR PLN, no sell short signal yet. Now, Gerald, you're thinking the right way, because last few weeks ago, I think couple of weeks ago, we missed a trade. Now, we were busy. I don't think we were trading anything. I think we were waiting. And we missed a short opportunity on the Swiss pairs. All right.
I remember that.
Yeah. So we missed this trade here on the Swiss pairs. And the Swiss is the same thing, but it's a bit, the Swiss is a bit larger. All right. But so if you look here, so this is pound. So you're thinking the right way. It's just not something that we teach, right?
And I can respect that answer, because it really, you want to trade winning trades. I can respect that, and it's just one of those things that caught my eye, you know, upon looking at all the data here on Monster Scalper, that all 3 of those currencies were doing the exact same thing. Now, who's to say they're going to do that next week? No one, but it didn't miss my eye. I guess that's what I was bringing up.
Yeah, and that's good. You're actually going a bit deeper. All right, I'm trying to find the other one here. So Euro Swiss, and then New Zealand. There's Aussie Swiss. So the Swiss is a bit larger. Aussie Swiss. Now, if we if they're consistently moving, right? So if we see where they are consistently giving really good trades, we might actually bring them in here. All right. But that hasn't been the case. Sometimes if depending on that country, right, if they've got big things happening, right, geopolitical interest rates, and they're really moving, and we're seeing them pop up a lot, then we might put more focus, right? So let's see here. So the Swiss has how many here? 5. All right, 5. So some similar to the Aussie group here. So if we wanted to track the Swiss, that would be, you know, that would be an opportunity. All right. So I'm going to show you guys here. This is the trade we missed with the Swiss, and similar to the Polish, right? So here is dollar Swiss, and we missed this short trade right here, right? Dollar Swiss. All right. And where was it? Where is the other one here? Here, pound Swiss. Here was another short trade here, right? And this happened pretty quickly. We looked up and it's like, oh man, that's a pretty nice trade here. And we weren't trading. We were just sitting on the sidelines and missed it.
And I think, David, because we missed the Swiss last week or a week and a half ago, that caught my eye as well. So when I saw the PLNs doing the same thing, I'm like, hey, let's bring this up again.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where is the other one? Euro Swiss. All right. And it was a perfect look at that. It's still in that markdown phase. Sell short signal still holding. All right. And then I think the Aussie Swiss. All right. Here was the sell short signal. So really great trading, you know, really great trading. Here's another one here. All 5 of the Swiss pairs did really good. And guess what? We were waiting for a next rotation. So that was a rotation, you know.
So you're saying because we got a rotation, look like in the yen pairs, we may not need to play around with that PLN like that, like we needed in this, because in this, when the Swiss pairs, we wasn't doing anything. We were just looking for trade.
Yeah. And that would have been the time to take this. Yeah. So so yes, if we our go-to, all right, our go-to will always be here. All right, our go-to. And years ago, we did have the smaller groups, right? We did have smaller groups, and we would track them. All right, but it was just too much, right? You know, we can only capture, what we would like to do is capture, really focus on one rotation at a time. All right. But yeah, there are opportunities there. You guys will just have to look for it, right? Just keep an eye on it. So that's a good point, Gerald. That's a good point. And that's really looking at the whole thing here. Yeah. All right. Good question. Good question. If it, you know, we're always changing, we're always improving things. The Swiss pair, the Swiss is one that I've always thought about bringing in here. The ZAR, also the ZAR pairs, that's another one that really moves well. All right, so the dollar ZAR, all right, where is it? Where is the other one? Dollar ZAR, Euro ZAR, all right, pound ZAR, right here. All right, and that's it. But you know, we can only look at so much stuff. If you know the dollar ZAR, if the dollar move, we'll get an opportunity to trade it in here. All right, so we'll get an opportunity to trade it here. If the dollar Swiss moves, we'll get an opportunity to trade it in here. All right, if it moves, in the yen pairs, Swiss yen. All right. So we'll always get a piece of that action. All right, because all these are cross pairs. So we'll always get a piece of it, but just that's good to think that way. It's good to think that way. All right. What other lessons did we learn this week? Whether it's Forex, stocks, what other lessons? There are some pretty cool lessons. What are the lessons?
Oh, David, well, one of my cool lessons is that, like, once we go through all the phases, like markdown, you know, consolidation, once you get that buy signal, that's the time. Well, it depends on your capital. You probably want to do a little bit more, because after a while, then it start, like, you know, sellers started come in, then it's like, you know, it's like, if I'm like, you know, it's iffy. So you get more of the meat when it starts.
Yep. Yeah. Was there one in particular, Zaire, a particular pair?
USD CHF.
USD.
Yeah, because once it start, like, I know in the initial stage, I got most of my profit, but I was like trying to, you know, wait, and then I'm start adding more. But it's like, then, you know, the sellers start coming. So
yeah,
it was like, yeah, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there are two ways to trade. All right, there are two ways to trade. All right, we can take a small position, and for the more experienced traders, you guys can once you gain a level of confidence with the system, all right, a level of confidence with the rotations, all right, and you know what you're doing. This is a cool way to trade. It's a bit riskier, right? This is the advanced class here, right? All right. But piggybacking on what Zaire said, right? If you guys are able, new traders don't do this yet, right? But you can work to this. So right now, what we do is this, right? We take the first position here. All right. We can, you know, we can scale up here. All right. We can scale up here. All right. We can scale up here. All right. And then close everything here. All right. So we scaled up, added, got out here. Okay. So we build in capital. So let's say we had one lot here, added another lot here, and added another lot here. All right, added another lot here, got out here. All right. All right. I want you guys to think about this. There's another school of thought. All right. And this is what a lot of the big trend followers will do. They'll do both. All right. They'll do both. All right. But you can do this also. Take a big position here. All right. Take a big position. And I'm not saying to do this, right? This is what, right? So that you notice down the road as you get good, right? You can put a big position here. All right. When it gets, let's say it gets to this resistance here, take off some profits. So rather than scaling up, you're scaling out. All right. Now your initial position, right? That's going to be tough because if you get that pullback, right, that's going to, and you have a big position, guess what? It's a bit riskier. All right. But as that big position goes in your favor, you're taking profits, you're selling. All right. You're selling perhaps a third of it. All right. Then as it goes up higher, you're closing. So as it's going higher, right? You're making money, it's going in your favor. You're not adding, you're taking profits, you're taking profits. Okay. It's another way to trade. A lot of traders love trading that way because they're always taking profits. Rather than adding on risk, adding on risk, they put on a large amount of risk here, and now they're taking off risk. As the price moves higher, they're taking profits. Okay. The nice thing about that is that you're always taking profits. Okay. At some point, we'll get, once we get a lot of traders, we have a lot of new traders, and a lot of our advanced traders don't come here, right? They do their own thing. All right. So we can't really teach that, because you know it's a bit riskier because you're putting on more capital at the beginning. But to what Zaire mentioned, that's your best trade right here. That first buy signal, that's your best price. So if you can put a larger amount of capital when you get in the best price, and then as that price goes in your favor, you taking profits off the table, All right. So by the time you get the sell signal, guess what? You're done with the position. Rather than you build in positions. And by the time you get the sell signals, you heavy in positions. Does that make sense?
So, David, when you say taking profits, that just means that you're withdrawing monies, not closing the position, correct?
Yeah, you're taking, closing all your positions. Now, it's hard to do that with Forex.com. Hugo's way, you can do that. You can do that with Forex.com. All right. You would have, you have to do that with Hugo's way. But don't worry about the just know that that's a way to trade. You'll figure out the rest once you get here. But just know that this is how a lot of traders, professional traders, will trade. They'll take on a pretty sizable position for their initial trade. All right. And then as it is a bit riskier, all right, but then as the position works in their favor, they scale out. What you guys are doing now, you're scaling up. All right. I like this. I like both, right? I like both. If you don't have a sizable account and you renew, right? This works really well. Okay. Add in here, perhaps add in here, add in here, add in here, because now you're using the profits, right? Your profits to keep adding, okay? But understand the reason I bring this up, all right, is Zaire, right? Because this is gonna be your best price right here, right on that breakout, right on that buy signal. This is your best price. So a lot of traders want to, as you get higher, as you enter in here, right, you're buying at a higher price, right? You're buying, although you're scaling up, right, you're still buying at a higher price. Okay. So the other school of thought is, let me get in my core position. Let me get my core position good. I've been watching it. I've been building. I'm waiting. All right. I want to take a nice big position. And then as new buyers are pushing my price up, I'm getting out. As they're pushing the price up, I'm getting out. As they're pushing the price even higher, I'm getting out. By the time the sellers come in, they're completely out. So they took profits here, took profits here, took profits here along the way, having the new buyers come in, break on resistance, reaccumulation. They're not buying, they're not adding, they're getting out. All right. And they want to, by the time they have a big core position here, by the time it gets to that resistance, guess what? They're all done. They're all done. All right. Different way to trade. All right. Both are a bit riskier. This is risky here because you keep adding risk on. Here, you take on a larger risk at the bottom, but you keep taking profits on the way. Here, you don't take profits until you're done. Here, you're taking profits along the way. All right, you add on risk here one time. You add on risk one time, and now you're taking profits. Here, right, you're adding on risk, you're building the risk, and then you're taking profits. All right. So think about this as you guys get better with your trading. All right. As you get better, a lot of professional traders do this. They love doing this, but they have the capital to do it, right? They know how to manage their emotions here. All right. This is easier. This is a lot easier than this, but this is a lot more profitable. All right. So just think of it like this, right? This is how these big hedge funds trade. While everyone is jumping in, they are getting out. This is how they get out. While everyone is getting in, pushing their price, and they want you to get in, they want us to get in to push their price higher so they can get out. All right, they need us to push, right? FOMO, right? To get that FOMO, right? They need us to push that price higher so that they can get out of the position. All right. So think about that over the weekend. Two different styles. All right. Your goal at some point is to be here. All right. Put a nice bit of capital to work, and then hope that the street, right? I don't like it. I don't like to say the dumb money, right? But as average traders keep buying in, getting in, right? We are lucky we can get out in here. Some traders will get in here as it hits the news. Some traders will get in here. Some traders will get in here, helping them push that price higher to get them out. All right. And then we'll have traders that will get in up in this area here. By the time the new traders get in here, they're done. They're out of the trade. So Zaya, you brought this up. So this is always going to be your
advanced
best.
is advanced. Remember, if you're thinking about it, you know, I don't know most of the traders here on this, but I haven't had the software so long, but based on the little knowledge I have and with the software that I got from you, is like, oh my God, you get what I'm saying? It's like, so now I'm so much better, you know, and thank you for, yeah.
Yeah. So this is, we don't talk about this a lot, right? I don't even want you guys to think about this process. All right. Because you do need to put a good size of capital, right, to be able to scale out like this. But that's the goal. That's the goal, right? So this is the institutions, that's what they're doing, right? In that accumulation phase. Let me do this. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right, let's do this here. 1 second, and I'll be done. I'll be done. All right. Okay, so you guys should see the 4 market phases. You guys see that? You guys see it? 4
Yeah, we
market
can see it.
phases? Okay, all right. Okay, so this is what they do here. All right, hold on. And I'll be done after this. All right, so that's what they do there, the accumulation phase. So that's what they're doing here. They're buying, they're building positions, buying, building, 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 building. They don't buy up in here. No, you know, there's some trend followers. Some trend followers will do this. So they'll buy here and then buy here also. But their main goal is to build, 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 build. They're buying, 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 buying until they break here. And then they're selling. They're selling all the way up. They're selling. And they need us to get in to push that price higher, right? So that they can get out. If we don't push the price higher, they can't get out, right? So they're hiding. They're hiding. You guys have seen that in with a lot of the healthcare biotech stocks, right? You guys will see they're accumulating. It's coming up on our radar. They're holding and building and building and building, all right? And then once they have enough, right, they'll go ahead and push the price higher. And then as they need us to get in, all right, and then they'll get out. As we getting in, they're getting out. As we getting in, they're getting out. Okay. Pretty cool stuff, right? We just have to understand. So we practice small, scaling up, but the goal is at some point to scale out. All right, to scale out. Any questions here? Any questions here? It's advanced. All right. You can practice if you wanted to do, if you want to do micro lots, you can practice. So let's say you're doing, if you were planning on doing scaling up 3 times, all right? Or let's say you're planning on taking 3 or 4 different pairs, perhaps do 1 pair, right? You can do 1 pair, all right? And then you can do 3,000 units, all right? And then if you wanted to practice this, if you guys wanted to practice this, all right? And then as it gets to that first reaccumulation phase, you can close, but Forex.com doesn't allow that. You got to do Hugo's way or Trader's way, all right? But it's a good way to start trading. All right. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. All right, guys. A lot of lessons this week. Notice how we rotated quick, right? Whenever we get a rotation, and I think that was fairly quick for the dollar pairs, right? And we see several pairs closing, getting out. Do not wait for your pair to totally, go down, right? If you start seeing white candles, red candles at the beginning of the cycle, right? We can wait for that white candle to close, right? All right, at the beginning of that markup phase, towards the end of that rotation, right? That cycle up in this area in here, right? When we see selling coming in with the other pairs, just know that it's going to affect your pair. So you might not be in that trade, but watch the other pairs, watch the selling coming in, all right? Watch those sell signals on the other pairs because your pair will follow, all right? So if we let it totally collapse, we'll lose profits on that. Okay, so watch the other pairs, and that's what we did today, right? So you guys should have gotten out pretty clean. Everyone should have gotten out of the dollar pair without any major, you guys everyone should have made some profits, made some money. All right. If we let it just collapse, all right, then we don't want to do that. All right. So so follow these rotations. The yen pair, that's the rotation, yen pairs. So you guys should be taking some positions in those. All right. And the market was up. So that 30,000 mark, they're really watching that 30,000 mark, and they're protecting that 30,000 mark on the down. All right. They are definitely protecting that. But we're still in the markdown phase with the equity markets. All right, guys, take care. Have a great weekend. See you guys on Sunday. All right, see you guys on Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.